Morning glory, America. Bonjour. Hi, Canada. Hugh Hewitt from Studio West. Last night it was revealed that Joe Thomas has been inducted into the Hall of Fame, the 2007 first-round draft choice of the Cleveland Browns, taken third overall from the University of Wisconsin. The best maybe that ever played at left tackle, and we're celebrating Ohio today, and we're doing it with Ohio Governor Mike DeWine. Governor DeWine, I know you're a Bengals fan, and I know you're disappointed, but surely you must celebrate Joe Thomas going into the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, Governor, I asked you on yesterday because I read your budget message, and I'm going to be candid with you. I'm disappointed. Arizona, Iowa, Utah have gone to universal school choice. You proposed expanding school choice in Ohio, but not the backpack funding, where every student could make their own free choice of where to go to school. Why stop the momentum?
This is a pretty expansive plan that we put forward, Hugh. We've taken a family of four earning up to $120,000 a year is now going to be eligible. So it's a big expansion. We continue to expand it. Frankly, we've got to make sure that the supply and demand are somewhat aligned, and we've got actually choices for these families to make. So we're getting criticized by some people who don't like school choice. We like school choice. We think it's a very, very positive thing. The other thing we've done in regard to our charter schools, our high-performing charter schools, we started something when I became governor, and that is additional funding for the high-quality charter schools. And this is in response to requests from business leaders in some of our major cities who say, look, we want to attract high quality charter schools here, or we want to expand the charter schools that we already have. But you're not paying enough money. So we've dramatically increased the funds for that as well. So,
Governor, don't get me wrong. It's better than most, but it's not as good as some. And I want Ohio to lead. And what I'm afraid of, you're considered one of the most successful governors in the country. You won overwhelming re-election. You've done a lot of great things for Ohio. But we got momentum on freedom, meaning that parents are going to be able to send their kids wherever they want, including public schools. And it's building in Iowa, Arizona. It's going to pass in Utah this week. It's going to happen in other states. And everyone was looking to Ohio as being the first sort of major industrial center, one that needs to attract parents to go work at Intel factories that you're opening up outside of Columbus. I don't think it's enough because you're still picking winners and losers. You're helping the poorest kids, and that's good. And you're helping the most excellent kids, and that's good. But what about the parents who just want to get their student out of a mediocre public school that's got ideology in it? You're not letting them out.
Hugh, we got to balance our budget too. In Ohio, we're not the federal government. We can't run deficit spending. And so, we're taking this, we're moving it up. It's a dramatic move. $120,000. Everybody below that, any family below that, family of four, is eligible for this money. So, look, I have a responsibility to all the people of Ohio to make sure that we've got a balanced budget, that we're moving forward, and that when these things are offered, that there's enough schools actually out there that can take these kids. So,
well, there's a demand signal.
I guess I disagree with you. We're moving, and if you look at some of the other states, frankly, that are saying they're doing it, they're phasing their
Iowa is phasing it in. And I wouldn't mind a phasing, but Governor, I saw in your budget message that you said you're going to give $5,000 to students to go to Ohio universities. That's picking winners. Why not put that money into more school choice so that kids can get out of high school ready to go to work? Or again, I'm just concerned about the freedom of parents and students.
Hugh, we're doing a lot. You're talking about choices. We have dramatically increased our career tech in the state of Ohio. We've got kids now who are in high school who are making the career tech path. So it wasn't just increasing funds for kids who want to go to college. We want more options. And what we did, you talk about kids who go into college, yes, we gave them choices. And I don't know if it's picking winners or losers. We have 75 private schools, colleges in the state of Ohio. We have 14 public institutions. They get to choose from all of those. We give them basically a voucher for $5,000 and say, you can apply this to any school in the state of Ohio. So again, that That is choice. It's also
But now, Governor,
wait a minute.
follow this.
Now,
You're a smart guy.
It's also choice when a kid is in high school and decides they want to go into career tech, and making those the best that we have in the country is what we're doing to give them more choices. So that's all about choice.
But Governor, you're missing the middle. I mean, my point of view is when you give you've got a budget, you put $5,000 in the hands of every college-going student, you're taking $5,000 out of the hand of someone in the middle who doesn't qualify under the poverty test or the 4 times poverty level test and who isn't going to go to college. So you're picking the winners. The excellent students are going to go to college. You're helping the people who are farthest behind, the people at the lowest end, and you're missing the middle. And the key part of it from a national perspective is that Ohio could have made this domino fall. I mean, when Arizona led, first it began Florida and West Virginia, then Ducey put it everywhere, then Iowa joined on, then Utah joined on. Now everyone's looking at Ohio, and all of a sudden Mike DeWine throws up a 3-yard screen pass.
If you think this is a 3-yard screen pass, I think you and I have a different understanding of football. This is about 60 yards down the field, and it's a very good play. So if you look at everything we're doing, more choice. The other thing that we're doing, Hugh, and this makes a big difference. We're now going to, when you look at the reading and how kids learn to read, we're finding that some of the schools are still light years back, and so we're returning for those schools. We're telling them you need to return to phonics, you need to get to the basics, because this is how kids learn. And there's absolutely no doubt about that. So,
but Governor, you've got a super majority. You can do whatever you want. If the legislature sends you backpack funding that's universal, would you sign it?
Hugh, if we could afford it this year, we would do it. I'm just going to tell you something again, and if you look at Ohio, we're very open. We're honest. We're saying this is what we're doing. If you look at what other states are doing, that's great. They passed a backpack and they're phasing it in. So we are ahead of many of those states that you're giving credit for a backpack. We're already ahead of them, and we're moving further ahead with this budget.
And the reason I would contend that that's not an accurate depiction, Governor, and I want to give you the floor, is that Iowa's taking 4 years to make sure the dislocation at the public school level is not enormous. Arizona moved immediately, but you're next. And if you compare Ohio's system, it's picking winners and losers as opposed to saying we're moving towards universal choice. And I understand that there are some rural districts. I talked to Matt Dolan about this. I imagine he and Bernie Marino and Frank and everybody else who runs for Senate will talk about this. But I go back to my question. If the legislature passes backpack funding, would you sign it?
Well, sure, but it's got we've got to be able to balance our budget, and we've got to be able to make sure kids actually have real choices out there. So again, this is semantics. I think we're ahead of these states. We've been moving towards school choice. Every budget that we've had, this one takes it, a quantum leap forward, and we're doing very, very well in that regard to the choice.
I hate to be the what have you done for me lately guy, but I am the what have you done for me lately because I followed Education Ohio for a long time. And when I go back to the Catholic school systems, of which you're very well aware, they got capacity, they got desks. All they need is $5,000-$6,000 per student, and they'll educate them. And we don't need to give $5,000 to students who are going to go to school. I mean, some of the schools that are going to get that $5,000 have got huge endowments, right?
It's choice, though. What you're saying is I don't want this kid to have choice. It's what it's going to mean when you talk to the college presidents, you talk to the admission officers in Ohio. It's going to mean there's kids who want to go to college, have what they need to go to college, can't afford to go to college. This is going to be a significant boost to those kids. So you're arguing against choice.
No, I'm arguing for fix the middle first. I'm saying universal freedom for everyone at high school, and then worry about later if you've got the money for a college scholarship. But Governor, you're doing a great job. Occasionally we disagree. I appreciate your coming on to discuss it with me. Come back as it moves through the legislature. But I am I just want Ohio to be at the front, not at the middle of the
You're always great to
revolution.
be with. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. Be well.